Do you ever feel like you're up against a giant? Do you have to face a big bully at work? Or maybe a fear that seems overwhelming? Well, today we're going to remember that no matter how big the giant is, it doesn't stand a chance against the one who puts their trust in God. And Goliath from 1 Samuel, chapter 17. Now, this story starts out by telling us that Israel and Palestine were at war. And every day, the Israelites would go out and meet the army of Palestine and fight. But there was one Palestinian fighter who was a giant. His name was Goliath. He thought this was the funniest thing he'd ever seen. He thought, "This little boy wants to fight me?" But David started swinging his sling, and he hit Goliath right in the forehead and knocked him out. We just have to be faithful to God and trust in Him, because He is the one who has gone. Now give us the strength and the courage and the wisdom that we need to overcome whatever giant we're facing. Then David ran over and grabbed Goliath's own giant sword and cut off his head. And the Israelites won that day because they were no longer afraid. He was huge, about 6'9", and he had a big sword and a spear. It doesn't matter how big the giant is, because the one who puts their trust in God is going to be the one who wins. And every day he would come out and yell and scream at the Israelites and challenge them to fight him, to have a one-on-one matchup. Sometimes the giants that we face are fears inside of us, like fear of failure or fear of rejection, or maybe a fear of public speaking. And those are giants too. Sometimes the giants that we face are bullies, people who try to tear us down, or who try to harm us, or who try to hurt us. We all have to face different giants. But the truth is that none of those giants are any match for the power of God. But nobody would go, because he was a giant, and they were afraid. So day after day, Goliath would come out and taunt them, and they would run away. And remember that it doesn't matter how big the giant is, because you're on God's team, and God's going to help you. He might even give you a slingshot. Welcome to the Bible Project. Today we're going to look at the story of David. Maybe you have to speak up in front of your class. You can watch a video on your favorite device. Also, you can follow us on social media to see more. Maybe you have to face an addiction. Maybe you have to stand up against a bully. Whatever it is, write it in the comments below. We're praying for you. Finally, a young man named David heard Goliath's challenge. And although he was only a teenager, and probably about 5 foot tall, he wasn't scared. And so he said, "I will go and fight this giant." Now, David wasn't a warrior. He was a shepherd. He wasn't even a soldier. But he was brave, and he was also very faithful. And so when he told his dad, Jesse, that he wanted to go fight Goliath, his dad wasn't too happy. He thought this was a crazy idea, and he tried to talk David out of it, but David insisted. He wanted to do this. Now, this went on for 40 days, and the Israelites were getting discouraged. And so then the story says that Jesse took some clothes, some armor, and he gave it to David. And he said, "Here, take this. It's all that I've got." And David put on the clothes and the armor. And guess what? They didn't fit. He was too skinny. He was a small young boy. And so he couldn't get the armor on. So David went back home and grabbed 5 smooth stones from a stream. And he took his shepherd's sling, and he went out to meet Goliath. And David was just slinging stones for a living. That's what he did. He was a simple shepherd. And yet he was going to use that skill to defeat a giant. Now, when Goliath saw David running towards him with a sling, he laughed. Well, this story teaches us that no matter how big and strong and powerful our enemy is, if we trust in God, we can overcome. Now, sometimes the giants that we face aren't other people. And this story reminds us that we don't have to be the biggest or the strongest or the smartest. So next time you feel like you're up against a giant, remember David? So now I want to hear from you. What giants do you have to face? Also, if you want to hear more Bible stories, check out the rest of the videos here at the Bible Project. Every little bit helps the channel grow, and it doesn't cost a thing. So if you've enjoyed the content, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around till the end. Your support means the world. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm here with the Bible Project. Remember, God loves you and so do we.